Today we're looking at Meta Platforms, more importantly an update on its virtual reality push. In the past week or so we have seen a nice amount of updates with this company's virtual reality headsets and more. So Meta Platforms is definitely a company I've covered a few times this week. One of my favorite videos that I actually did was talk about its push to artificial intelligence and why it's so important for Meta Platforms. So make sure to check out that video after you watch this one. Also, if this is your first time here, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, check out the pinned comment for a lot of great links, and also check out my tech channel. So let's get started.
I do want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and make sure to check out fool.com/Jose to get the top 10 stocks to buy right now.
So we can see Meta Platform stock price has definitely taken quite a hit. In the past from its 52-week high, the stock is down over 55%, and there are a lot of negativities kind of hitting Meta Platforms at the same time. The changes that Apple made, for example, macroeconomics that are slowing down in advertisement, and then the huge kind of competition coming from companies like TikTok. But as you know from previous videos, I am bullish in Meta Platforms, and I've talked about some of the reasons why in those other episodes. First, I want to take a closer look at what I believe is one of the most bullish things for their virtual reality push. And here on July 7th of 2022, the company announced that starting on August, you won't need to have a Facebook account to kind of play virtual reality games. And let me kind of backtrack this. Previously, if you bought an Oculus headset, you actually had to have a Facebook account or create a Facebook account to use the device. And I do believe that was a little bit kind of alienating a lot of users. For example, myself, I don't have a Facebook account, and the main reason I didn't buy an Oculus headset was because I had to create an account. And now that I'm not being forced to create this form of account, I will most likely purchase a headset within the upcoming months. And I do want to say there's probably other consumers with the same mentality as me. So what they're doing instead is Meta Platforms is actually creating two other accounts. They're creating a Meta account, which is going to be like your main hub account. This is going to be the one that deals with anything like purchasing, and then within your Meta account you're also going to have to create a Meta Horizon profile, and this is going to be kind of like your social media virtual reality platform where you're going to be able to kind of control your privacy as well, like, hey, anybody can see me, nobody can see me, or some people can see me. And obviously if you have a Facebook account, you can link the two. So I do believe this is very important because as you're not alienating your users, more people are going to come to the platform. More people in the platform are going to make it a funner experience, especially if you're trying to create this metaverse. And then they're going to invite their friends, and more people are going to join over time. Again, I don't believe this is going to be a huge acceleration, but I do believe this was a great move by the company. Maybe they are doing this for numerous reasons. They might be fearing a competition. We know that we have heard numerous reports that Apple is kind of also entering the virtual reality space. So instead of alienating users and maybe pushing them to another competitor, they maybe want to create more of an open ecosystem to some extent where they're going to drive more users into them. Hopefully it pays off. I do believe in theory, this was the best move for the company. I do believe it also opens up for a younger generation of users to come into the virtual reality world, because I do believe probably in the younger base, they're most likely in some of their competitions like TikTok. So it's very hard to kind of get them to kind of create a Facebook account. Again, great move in my opinion. It's going to start in August 2022. I do believe there are some tricky sides to this. For example, obviously Meta Platforms is an advertisement company, and by having two different kind of accounts, how much information will they be willing to grab, or are they grabbing to kind of become a huge kind of advertisement giant in the metaverse in virtual reality? But I guess maybe right now we're still in so early stages that doesn't really matter too much for them, that they'll rather focus on just acquiring users, and maybe later on they're going to find out how to kind of monetize those users in their virtual reality platforms. The second news I want to talk a little bit more is just how Meta Platforms is trying to create two different markets for their virtual reality headsets. For example, we have the Quest 2, and the Quest 2 is going to be more of their kind of consumer base, but they are also looking to kind of create virtual reality and AR headsets that are going to go more for businesses, enterprises, and more outside the gaming community. And I do believe we are seeing more virtual reality and augmented reality technology being implemented in kind of the enterprise world opposed to the gaming world, and there are definitely a lot of solutions there. I mean, I've done a video, I believe last week, where I talked about how NVIDIA and Siemens are creating kind of the enterprise metaverse Metaverse. So we definitely see that we need solutions for that market, and Meta Platforms is actually doing that as well. Obviously, this is going to be a more expensive headset, and we do have some more update on that. This other headset is known as Project Cambria right now in the market. I don't believe we have an official name for these headsets, but from an internal memo that came out a few days ago, about a week ago, we do know that Meta Platforms is actually really focused in this headset. Like I mentioned before, Cambria will actually be a higher tech model compared to the consumer market one, which will have all new AR and face tracking capabilities, and it seems to be pitching it towards a more business and industry focused usage. Obviously, gamers are most likely going to pick it up as well, especially those with the big bucks. There haven't been any announcements of prices, but this is expected to be at least over $800, and that's a lot more than the lower $299 consumer market. This model is expected to be released in 2022, so we'll find out a little bit more about it, but Meta Platforms has already kind of sent out development kits to other enterprises for them to test out and use. And if you want to learn more about the virtual reality market, there is going to be a trade show on August, SIGGRAPH 2022, which kind of deals is a conference and exhibition on computer graphics and interactive techniques. Meta Platforms is going to showcase some of their new kind of virtual reality products here, so hopefully we can learn a lot more stuff. So some final thoughts. For me, even though I am bullish in the company, I do believe the virtual reality right now is a small portion, as we've seen, of this company, and it's not something that's going to change overnight. But the changes that they've recently made, I do believe, is a great move. It doesn't mean it's gonna work, but it's definitely a great move for them to drive more consumers and more users to their platforms. So overall, I'm still bullish in this company. Like I mentioned, I'm more bullish on their artificial intelligence push, where I did a video, and make sure to check it out up here. So take care, have a good day, and see you next time.